You guys like my sandals so much, bro. What was that? Leave them alone, bro. They're just trying to play. Okay. How loud would they do? Gang, gang, gang. Okay, whatever. Um, it's been a while. You know, it's hot as fuck in here. What's up with that, man? Damn. Close this damn door. Turn my phone. So many messages. I wish I could just. So yeah, man. A couple weeks ago, I mean, we started going to the gym, me and Logan together, my son, for quite a bit. You know, it's been a few months, but it's been very, you know, shaky or whatnot. Like as far as like how consistent I come like with him, and it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I share him also with like the mother of his mother, his other grandmother. Like sometimes it'll be the whole weekend. Like every other weekend, he goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday with her. So then that takes 3 days off completely of his workout, and that's fine. It's okay. He's still young, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take advantage of the amount of testosterone that's running through his body right now. He's going through puberty. He's 12. He's got a like mustache. He's got leg hair. He's got everywhere. He's tall as fuck. He grew out all his clothes we bought clothes. 3 months, he grew it out. 3 months, he grew it out. Shoes, same thing. 3 months, grew it out. Sometimes it was just like a month and a half where a pair of shoes just no longer fits him. Gone, done, boom. The kid's sprouting like a fucking tree, which is amazing. I want him to be big. I want him to, have that intimidating, I don't want to be short, small, and have to really learn how to fucking fight and shit. When you're big, you automatically give off that energy where don't fuck with me, I'm tall, whatever. So plus he really wants to be big in sports, man. So height in sports is can always be an advantage, So whatever. I'm not gonna be mad that my son's gonna be big, tall, and shit, whatever. So I say he's gonna be about 6'3", some shit like that, 6'3", 6'4", maybe 6'5". I hope. But but I've noticed, we skipped like a whole week, and then past 2 days, yesterday and the day before, we got back into it. We did the whole entire session. We're doing push pull legs now, so it's push day, pull leg day, push day, pull day, leg day, rest. That works out your entire body in the proper structure because the muscles that you use in one day, by the time you get back to it on the fourth day, all 3 muscle groups that you do on that push day will be healed properly, and you'll be able to start from scratch all over again. So push-pull legs has been one of the best bro splits that's ever been, documented and stuff as far as, results or whatever. But, in the beginning, he would get stressed out in the gym. He wouldn't really, he's still working on some stuff, but I sat down and talked to him, and I was like, "Listen, man, you're going through some changes, boy. So you're gonna feel different. You're gonna feel weird ways. There's gonna be no understanding behind it because you're 12 years old. You're going through puberty early as fuck and strong as fuck, and I see it. It's heavy. So I told him, what I'm saying, you're gonna. And he told me, he's like, yeah, man, honestly, bro, I've been having mood swings. I'm like, I don't know why. I just get mad for no reason, and I'll be in a bad mood. And I'm like, bro, I'm 35, and I have more mood swings than any 35-year-old should have. So I told him, bro, it's okay. It's perfectly fine, dude. Our hormones are not balanced properly. You know what I'm saying? When you're going through a change like that, yours are fucking up and down, up and down, up and down. And I explained to him everything. I explained to him testosterone, estrogen, estradiol levels, prolactin levels and everything. I even went into depth with different blood markers and stuff like that, and different things that come out on the hormone panel when you do your blood tests. Talking about blood pressure, cholesterol, all that stuff. So I'm trying to educate him on everything so that he knows that these things will have an effect on how he feels in the future. So I've been doing my best to implement that shit. And I know it's a lot of information for him to take, man. But God, man, I wish I could be in his shoes. Growing up and having someone with the knowledge that I have today, giving me the sauce at 12 years old, bro. And bro, I thought about it and I saw a post and it hit home because I feel like I've always held my parents accountable, in a certain way, not to the max, but I was, oh man, if my parents were from, wanted to start a business or something when I was a kid, we'd probably be a lot better off right now. But that shit wasn't popular back then. You know, they were indoctrinated to just be like, hey, look, we just gotta go to school, work, and fucking retire, man, be broke, die broke. You know, that's what's that's what the agenda was pushed onto that generation and the ones before it. You feel me? So you know, like I started to say, like, man, like take accountability, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you gonna blame your parents for where you're at in life, bro? Everything that's happening in your life right now has nothing to do with anybody else but your fucking self. So I really started to apply that, and like I genuinely believe it. You know, I really do, because yeah, it's lucky that Logan's getting the knowledge and the sauce, and you know, me having a business and all that stuff now. At 12 years old, so he basically has the shortcut. You know, once I become really established and really, you know, up there, you know, with a brick and mortar restaurant, different locations, properties, and all that stuff. By the time he's a 20-year-old man, I'm gonna have all this. So by the time he's 20, he's probably already gonna have, like, you know, things already in play for him to go to certain courses, to certain things with business and finance, and, like, you know, to get him ahead in the world. Because, you know, in this economy and this type of like lifestyle, man, if you don't know numbers, you're gonna get left behind, and that's just a fact. You know, so numbers and technology. And what's technology? All numbers. So, you know, you just gotta be. I told I told my son also. I was like, can you imagine? Because yesterday we were talking in the kitchen or whatnot with my mom and dad, and my mom was like, see, but the thing he asked all of us. He said, hey, sorry, I'm getting stoned. You can tell. I'm pretty sure when you watch the video, you can see me go from like when I'm just a little bit high to like when I'm smoking the joint, like I'm currently smoking it. It's a big difference. So excuse my stonedness or whatnot, because I might lose train of thought. But anyway, so he talked to us in the kitchen yesterday because, you know, he talked about he wanted to go to a different school for high school or whatnot. He wanted to go to school that's less strict. And then I explained to him, I was like, listen, man, like I went to public school. And like, look how I turned out. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that all public schools do that, but you know, I went to a shitty public school. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking the security guards and teachers were fighting, and like, you know, like it was a ghetto as fuck school. You feel me? So like, all I knew about that school was bullying, getting jumped, and like getting into fights and fucking doing stupid shit and skipping school, and you know, like that's not like discipline stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, I came out, you know, paying for it. You know, I got into trouble, went to jail, did stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking doing stupid shit, and I ended up, you know, having a harder life than normal because I had all these records and stuff. You know, so like it makes it difficult. So I explained to him, listen, man, like I know you want to use me as an example of who you want to be like, because by default, you know, I'm your father, you know, cool, whatever the fuck you think I am. But, you know, you can also use somebody as an example of what not to be like, and that can still be beneficial. And I told him in his face, brother, listen, man, like I want you to use everything that I ever did in my life as like an example and as a guideline of things not to do. You know, use my experiences as like a shortcut to like success. Look at all the things that my dad did. My dad, you know, was in the streets at 13, 14 years old, doing stupid shit, you know, robbing, smoking weed, getting affiliated with stupid people, doing dumb shit, doing drugs, drinking all the time, getting fucked up, getting arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the life anybody, you know, people do come from that, you know what I'm saying? They come from that, and they still become millionaires and successful as fuck, you know, by the time they hit like 40 or whatever the fuck. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been expedited if I would have just fucking sat my ass down somewhere and fucking followed the rules and, you know, did something right, proper, and like, really thought about what I wanted with my future. I didn't think that it would count like that. You know what I'm saying? I really did. I thought it was just like, hey, you know what? I'll figure out something later and get it done. But shit don't work like that, man. Especially with my situation with my son being a single dad. You know, it's not easy, bro. Like, so like, I stay with the apartment that I have, you know, because right now they're saying, hey, 1-bedroom apartment, and it's like literally attached to their bedroom. Like, dude, like, oh, you have a private entrance and a private parking. And it's $1,500 a month. Like, what the fuck, bro? That's pathetic, bro. You can't even afford to pay your own fucking house. Why'd you buy it for? Why'd you do that? Just so you can have strangers living in that shit, paying your fucking mortgage? Bro, that's dumb shit. I don't believe in that. That's stupid as fuck, bro. If I'm gonna buy a house and I'm gonna live in that shit alone, be comfortable, I'm not worried about shit. You feel me? So like, I'm blessed to have a real apartment with a balcony, 2 rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like a full kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I lock my door with a peephole on it. I got my full bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I got space. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the 3rd floor, so I gotta worry about nobody making noise on top. Leaks or nothing like that. Somebody gets a leak and they get fucked, not me. You know, God forbid, but whatever. This place is kind of old. But I have my own fucking apartment, so I don't have to live with. I don't have to be quiet. I can smoke in my apartment, folks. They don't give a fuck. So, so yeah. Then he said he wanted to go to a different school, so I explained to him that about, you know, public school, what comes with it. You know, you might not stick in, or you might not fit in. Sorry, you might not fit in, and like, let's say you might become a target, and now you're the kid at the school who's the loser and gets picked on and stuff like that. Right now, you got a bunch of friends in your school. You're in a private Christian school, bro. We're paying for it. You know, we're paying, like, as we struggle with our own lifestyle, we're paying and investing in your better being because it's like $600 a month for this school. Plus, then we got to buy materials, uniform, and all that shit. That's another couple $100. So, like, the school's not cheap that we have him in. So, I told him, listen, it's a blessing. And I told him, I wish I could have that opportunity. You know, he's 12 years old and we already have something in his mouth that's getting his mouth prepared for braces. And I had to wait till I was a grown-ass man to be able to afford that and take out a fucking credit card to get braces to close my gap and shit. And I still got my teeth all fucked up for having a big mouth and pulling guns out and shit. And my mouth all fucked up. All these teeth all crooked, broken, fake teeth. My lips all fucked up. I told him, look what I go through for having a big mouth, dude. For the way I was raised, in the street. Thinking that respect is everything. And if you disrespect me, I put hands on you and I go to jail. I get out. I'm a loser now. So, like, I explained. Oh, it's just fucking. But I explained to him, man, like, give it another year, you know what I'm saying? Do this 1 year, and then, like, halfway through the year, we'll ask you again and see where you're at and see what you want to do. See if that's really what you want to risk. You want to public school or whatnot. And then, because I told him, listen, man, like, you have a good school, they have good programs, sports, and all that stuff. So if you say that you came from that school, it's a lot better. Plus, you want to get into sports. So if you, that's why I've had his ass in the gym with me this whole entire time he's been in summer. He has his days where he's lazy when he's with everybody else, or when I gotta go to boy and work on the truck. His fucking he's been showing up, bro, and I'm proud of him, bro. I gotta let him know, because I congratulate him, but I congratulate him at a time where he doesn't expect it. What I do is I delay the gratification. He does a good day, a good workout. I don't tell him shit. I don't tell him nothing. I don't tell him, hey, great workout today, bro, every single day. No. Because there's sometimes where honestly it's not a great workout. And even for me, I'll show up to the gym sometimes tired as fuck, sore, my shoulder killing me. I have 2 injured shoulders. I still show up to the gym. The surgery for each shoulder is $90,000. So I can't get the surgery. We already know that. And the doctor told me there's no therapy for that. There's no exercise. No, you have micro tears on both sides of your fucking rotator cuff. Any more heavy lifting and you're going to snap both of them. And I'm like, fuck. If I tear both my rotator cuffs, I have to have the surgery. So I'd have to get into a fucking debt of $100,000 just because I want to stay fit. I had set an example for my son. So check this out. I've been going lighter, I've not been doing like the workouts that really fuck with me. So, and at the same time, like I've been showing him that, listen, when you come to the gym, you don't work out your ego. You don't try to lift heavy. So you see some guy doing heavy ass weights, whatever, cool. Maybe his body's built for that. Who knows how long this guy's been doing this? And who knows, whatever. You never know who he is. Maybe he really knows what he's doing, or maybe he's been around, whatever. I told him, listen, people come to the gym like me. The way I injured both my shoulders, that shit actually hurt just moving like that. The way that I injured both my shoulders was ego lifting. I was on gear. I was on steroids. So once I started to see the results and I started to get huge, it started to get to my head. I was like, bro, I can lift anything. I can do anything. I was huge. I was fucking jacked, bro. And I thought I could do anything. So, bro, that's when I was getting the most attention at the gym from the females and all this shit. They would come to talk to me, blah, blah, take pictures with me, whatever the fuck. I was looking great, bro. So, I fucking fucked up my shoulder like really bad. I remember it was on a cable crossover, and then like I had like let go of this fucking. I let go of one hand of the thing by mistake because it slipped out, and then the other one just got yanked back, and I just felt the shit, and I was just like, oh man, that was weird. It was like this whole entire shock through my whole arm, and like it felt like numb and tingly, and I was like, oof, man, what was that? So I said, fuck, let me get out of here. So I got out of there. I rested for 2 days, and I tried to get back to it. It was bad. It was really bad, bro. I couldn't really move my arm too much. I couldn't go to sleep. I sleep with my shoulder up like this, sleeping sideways, like through the pillow. So I couldn't sleep at night. So that's when I went in and found out that I fucking tore my shit. So I'm showing him that the proper way to do things to avoid that is to get your ego out of the way. And who cares if someone sees you lifting a 10-pound dumbbell or a 15-pound dumbbell like as a grown person? I told him, listen, bro, you got to do the lightest weight because you're a 12-year-old boy. You don't have the strength even to lift like, the 15s and 20s. You got to do the 5s, and don't fucking feel stupid about it, bro. Listen, and I even went like this. I put my 2 middle fingers up and I screamed. Everybody kept doing what they were doing, right? I was listen, nobody's watching you, man. And if someone's watching you, whatever, it's probably because they like what you're doing or whatever the fuck, just because they happen to look at you at that moment. So like, don't feel embarrassed when you're in here, bro. This is like a safe place. No one here really knows what the fuck they're doing. You got this, bro. Trust me. Listen, I've made plenty of mistakes here. I've looked super stupid. I've fallen off machines before. And I've seen everything here too. So I'm starting to get him into that comfort zone where he walks into the gym confident, knowing what he's doing. So that's why I'm teaching him the proper form. not to ego lift and like proper, and I'll even use other people for examples as far as like their body physiques and stuff like that and the workouts that they're using to explain to them the whole entire spectrum of the gym, to make him fall in love with that shit. Because if I get that shit instilled into his head as a daily thing, and where all I'm talking about is fitness, health, gym, and dieting, it's going to be something that sticks with him for the rest of his life if I instill that shit within the next few years of high school. I told him, man, I want you to be in high school with, nice body, nice broad shoulders, fucking abs, you know what I'm saying? Nice little chest. And I told him, right now is the chance to do it, bro, without having to get like on gear or anything like that in the future. Because unfortunately, our genetics aren't the best in our family. We have a lot of sickness and disease and very lot of overweight, shitty, like unhealthy people in our family. So, like I know where I come from. So like I'm trying to break that mold with him, so like I sacrificed my my time most of the time. Like I don't have a social life. I don't have friends. I don't hang out with nobody. Everybody's fucking stupid. Everybody sucks. There's nothing that I can gain from the people that I know that I can go out with and all that stuff like that. I realized there was no benefit behind that, so every time I'd go out, there'd be an issue, a fight, an argument, or something negative, in the area. So I was always like, you know what, man, fuck it. So I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the gym 6 days a week, bro, to forget about my problems, my traumas, or whatever. And it turns out that there was a time where when I broke up with my ex, I went to the gym like 6-7 days a week, and then one time I caught myself where I was like documenting my workouts, like to see what I did, chest, arms, whatever the fuck. So in my notes, I was writing it down, right? And like I was working with my food truck at the same time, and I was seeing her or whatever, but then we broke up, whatever. So then I was like so busy like with the whole gym thing to keep me busy from not being around her that I realized one day I went to the gym 17 days in a row. Like I didn't even fucking realize it, and I didn't feel it, nothing. And I was going hard as fuck then. That's when I was jacked. So then like there was a time where I got really, really busy with the business, and I stopped going to the gym for like 5 days. I didn't go for 4 or 5 days. And then, bro, I got into this dark, disgusting depression that it was so bad. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to get out of bed. I would be taking like anxiety medication and shit just because I would want to like be numb and shit. So like I was like fucked up all the time, like in my bed, just like, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I wake up, eat, do whatever I have to do, like my necessities of life, pick up my son, whatever. Hey, bro, boom, and then I just come home and be a nobody, be nothing. And then like I'm like, fuck, dude, what's going on? And then there was just this one day where like I was actually like, I have nothing to do. And I was out on the road. I had to do something with the truck too. And then like I went, did that, and then I was like, fuck, I'm up here in Boy, and it was like the gym. Fuck it, whatever. And it just happened, it popped in my brain. And then, bro, I went to the gym. I got a good ass workout in, and bro, I was back to normal. Super excited, super fucking alive, flirty, healthy, like, energetic back on my frequency up here. I was like down here for a bit. And it was all because I missed those 4, 5, 6 days or whatever in the gym. I was perfectly fine going 17 days straight, not even realizing it. I was perfectly fine. Vibing high, not giving a fuck, making money, doing this, doing that, meeting new people, all this shit, new contracts. And like just 5, 6 days out of the gym and I'm fucked, So I basically became dependent on the gym, to get over like this bitch, and like also, the busyness of the fucking, being a single dad, the schedule, the gym, the fucking this, the that, the fucking job, the fucking everything, bro. Everything is just a mission in my life, So it was pretty stressful. So the gym has been what helps me get over all my problems. It helps me to like fast forward through them, So that's a good thing. So then that's what I want to instill in my son. I want him to realize that, like, fuck therapy, fuck sitting down with some fucking goofy ass motherfucker to tell him, hey, the other day I was sad about this. Now, fuck that, dude. Therapy don't work. There's never been one psychiatrist who's ever technically cured anybody. There were studies done on it, interviews made and everything, bro. There's no cure for whatever the fuck they're trying to cure. Therapy does not help nobody, bro. I don't care what anybody says. And if you believe it, that's fine. I'm not here to argue with nobody about that stupid shit, bro. I don't fucking argue with idiots, man. Fuck, you find yourself talking about some fucking guy for $250 an hour. Oh, I'm sad because this happened to me 20 years ago. What the fuck? Grow the fuck up, dude. I think I'd be the best therapist, to be honest with you. I'd be like, really, bro? The fuck? How does that affect you today, bro? The fuck? You took a shit yesterday, bro. You still gotta take a shit today, bro. Did the shit from yesterday make you not have to take a shit today, motherfucker, bro? Listen, no, man. Grow the fuck up, dude. Come on. Dumb shit therapy. I gotta go talk to somebody and pay him a bunch of money to tell him about my problems and him to write that shit down, cross his legs and look like some goofy ass fucking Nazi, dude. Fuck that shit, bro. I will never take my son to therapy. I don't care what he's been through. That shit's fucking poison for the mind, dude. So, anyways, You know, he's been showing a lot of progress in the gym, so that's it's a good thing. You know, so I'm pretty proud of him, bro. He actually wants to fucking push now. You know, so he wants to work out. He wants to do shit. You know, he'll still complain about it, but you know, like he'll get to the point where like, you know, he'll be like, I'm getting nauseous. I'm like, good. That means it's working. You know, and today I had to explain to him like when I let him sit down for a bit, like maybe like 10 minutes, and I kept him doing my stuff. I did about 2 sets, you know, while he sat down for like 10 minutes on his phone, drinking water. And I was like, yo, come on, let's go. And he was like, oh, but I'm nauseous. I was like, that doesn't mean you stop working out, bro. It means you sit down, you catch your breath, man, you swallow your fucking pride and finish the workout, bro. I told him, man, like there's been times where I was in here and I was so like obsessed with the working out that I would work out to my fucking limit, literally, to where there was one time where I threw up in the bathroom in LA Fitness and I fucking got right back to it and finished my workout. And there was one time where I was walking out stumbling and I fucking puked right in the fucking bushes right outside. I just kept it moving. I kept going. So I told him, listen, bro, if you go to work out and like your plan is to really grow, bro, like it's not just to be fit and to maintain your body the way it is and just not go upper or downer, you know what I'm saying? Like it's there's no fucking point of for me there's no point of like, you know, going hard in that sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, but since I want to grow and I want him to be athletic, strong, and have a, you know, very, you know, hypertrophic physique, you know, like I told him, listen, you have to go hard, you know, but you have to do it correctly, you know. So I'm showing him that. So I'm excited for him, dude. I know he's already, when he flexes a little bit, he already shows the abs with the line in the middle and stuff. You know, his biceps are showing. He'll be like, look at my veins. So like he's noticing it too. So you know what I'm saying. And I told him, man, like I've been studying this shit for like 5-6 years too. Like, you know, and I've been kicking out all the fucking mistakes and stuff. But you know, so I told him, like, you should be grateful, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take advantage, bro. Take advantage that I'm willing to go to the gym all the time, you know, no matter what. So take advantage, come with me, and we get the shit done. And then by the time you hit 12th grade, bro, you're going to be looking like a jack motherfucker, dude. You know, so I'm pretty excited for that, you feel me? So, but yeah, I just wanted to come out here and say that my son's getting better at, you know, the gym, and he's going to sign up for baseball on the 20th. So, you know, I think the gym's been like going to, you know, expedite, you know, his tryouts and all that stuff, bro. So yeah, I got a client I gotta go see. So anyways, but yeah, peace, love, happiness, man. You know, everything good. God bless you guys. Whoever the fuck watches this in the future. I gotta go do some stuff. And what else? And I'll come back to like, you know, stream on the video and fucking, you know, screen share with some shit. Look at XRP stuff or something. Later, guys.